Welcome, everyone, to the Onward VR Master League. I am your host, Monorchid, and I'm joined today by my co-caster, Theta.
Hey there.
Together, we're excited to be bringing you this matchup, Blackwatch versus Demon Killers, new team, in Season 10, Week 8 matchup. As always, the VR Master League is brought to you by VR Cover, ProTube, Rebuff Reality, Fixed Gaming, Cyber Shoes, B-Haptics, as well as you guys. So, let's just jump right into it. What do we got for ban 1 from Blackwatch?
Blackwatch is banning Subway.
Okay. That's not one that they've been doing the best on lately, is it?
No, I think we can talk about the other ban too, but I think both of these are bans for weakness because Blackwatch currently has a 0% win rate on that map.
All right, and what do we got for Demon Killers?
They are banning Cargo.
Age-old Cargo. You either love it or you hate it.
We know which side you lay on.
That's for sure. So what are your thoughts on that? Do you have any deep dive analysis?
I will say it's a little hard to have enough data for what I would call a quality analysis since Demon Killers is a brand new team. This will be their 4th game in the league altogether. I did look at some stats. It looks like they have about a 33% win rate on Cargo. So I think that should lend itself to, again, a ban from weakness. But one thing that's interesting to note is that connoisseurs are currently weighting this 48-2 in favor of Blackwatch. That is interesting considering Demon Killers won their last game. So we'll see if that rating stands up to reality.
So one thing about the whole connoisseur thing is it's kind of hard to like change like some of those votes are because you like a certain team. You know, it's not necessarily entirely objective.
Yeah, I would say it's mostly subjective at this point. Like most of us, it's all players. You know, these aren't any. We don't have bookies who have money on the line who are doing cold-hearted analysis. It's mostly, hey, I play with these guys, I like them, and I think they're good. And sometimes people will say, okay, there's a clear mismatch or a very good reason to believe one team will win, and I'll vote for that. But yeah, more often than not, it's about familiarity and personal bias. I'll be the first to admit that.
What about the other side where, let's say, their whole team votes for themselves and then their like friends join and then you got like 15, you know, early on, and then everyone else sees, oh, 15 people are voting for this team? I don't really know the other one, but you know, if everyone else thinks so, you know, I might as well join this bandwagon.
That is for sure a thing that's happening in the league. I've seen it a few times, more than a few times, I should say, on games where, in particular, one team will stack their own players into the connoisseur ratings, and that influences how everybody votes on that game.
We all win or lose together. That's how it goes, huh?
Indeed.
Alrighty, guys. So we're going to go ahead and jump into a quick intermission as these teams get ready. We will be back shortly, so stick around. See you shortly. 1, 2, 3, Blackwatch. Here we go. That's the start. And we are in this round 1. Blackwatch versus Demon Killer on Bazaar. Haven't seen this one in a good minute. Should be a good battle between these two teams. Nice spread of defenders going out already, getting into position near OBJ. One player kind of sitting in the far southeast area, trying to catch anybody going towards the tank. We already have some movement. Looks like Blackwatch is choosing to, take the center approach more than anything. Razor and Cash Crazy moving up towards the scaffolding right now. Maybe they can hear somebody through there, catch somebody through the crack there, or just get that flank on.
It looks like the Crowbro is putting just pure suppressive fire into this east side of the market. Oh.
2 to maximum takes out Razor Reflex on the east road here. Cash Crazy decides, I'm not going to go that way now. As he just knew that he wouldn't make it across, going the same way that his friend died. I do like all that the cover fire, like you said. There's just so much fire going out. It's just keeping them looking every single direction. Not sure which way is the true attack and which way is, where they're going to sneakily come in or something like that.
I also like the rhythm that they're using. They're not just sitting there continuously firing.
BW Eclipse takes up 2. Nice spread across. Poles is going across, taking out 2. He's going to have to worry about Victor Seski here. But Victor is hiding behind cover, not currently looking at him. He comes around the corner, but Eclipse has moved away, and May comes in to get the kill there. It's a game of light machine guns, actually.
Just the way I like it. But yes, before I was so rudely interrupted by Bloodshed there, I was saying that they have a really good rhythm going with their cover fire. They weren't just dumping shots into one spot. Every time there was a movement, you were seeing cover fire to coordinate with it.
Right. In that exchange, everyone died. Everyone died on Blackwatch, and now it's just up to Crowbro to try and bring this back for his team here. Oh, nice reaction fire from 2 to maximum there. It was a trade, and it ends up with Demon Killers taking round 1.
That was a very nice snapshot. I thought for sure Crowbro was going to win that, but 2 to maximum spun around to his credit and made sure that it was a trade instead.
That was a critical pickup, as well as if he took, 2 to maximum out right there. Or who was it? Was it 2 to maximum?
It was. No. Yep.
Or he was the one attacking. I mixed it up. So if he took out to Crowbro without a trade there, he could have either pushed across without the rest of the other team being able to stop him, or he could have repositioned and continued getting picks. And with 2 members up, it gets a lot harder to defend that objective. You definitely have to take a lot more set positions in order to cover every angle of the objective. And you can use that to your advantage as the last attacking player to try and whittle them down.
Indeed. And also, it's to Crowbro was using an LMG, and not to sound too self-aggrandizing, but when you have ammo at that volume, one person can really be a problem in a 1v2, whereas if you had made it to that point with a rifleman, maybe you've already gone through a ton of ammo and you have to start thinking about that. You can sort of cover for yourself when you have an LMG, just run around, make noise, and put rounds onto positions without having to worry about that. So again, critical pickup, like you said, by 2 to maximum at the end.
I agree with you on the LMG. I mean, you could literally suppress for yourself as well, shoot and then go to a different angle, and they still think that you might be where you were shooting from before.
Exactly. Round 2.
We got drums being handed out over on Demon Killers. Something that a lot of players like to do in these newer teams, I think. Not necessarily the case with veteran teams. At least with mine.
I'm going to pretend like you weren't aiming that at me.
Just our LMG guy, that's all. Shots ringing out already. Blackwatch in position here. We got some people going on the stairs there. Eclipse getting really, really aggressive here. Coming upstairs. Ben Bob isn't going to be ready for this, but Eclipse doesn't see him.
Oof. Yeah, they just ran past each other.
They have shield. They have shield.
Ben Bob is like, where is this guy? I can't find him. Where is he?
Oh, that frag's gonna get him though. I don't think he saw it come out.
That wasn't intentional. He was just trying to throw it out, and it landed there. And he's like, "Oh man, I better get away from this frag." Eclipse is somehow. He almost flashed himself. How is he still alive?
I'm not sure, but he is keeping everybody busy. He is drawing a lot of attention and sucking away a ton of time.
Shield's dead now. Now he has control of the shield, which is going to be really powerful for defending the stairs if any player chooses to come up and attack him. And you can already see that here, but by having that shield, he doesn't have his gun ready.
On me.
He's just using his radio so casually there. Cash Crazy, meanwhile, takes out Victor. Eclipse then gets Doom on the other side of Kiat. Man, what objective is this? Is this Kiat or what? Because it sure feels like it.
I am surprised that Eclipse is so far off, because if people start going down on the objective, he is going to have a serious problem on his hands. I mean, conceptually, Demon Killers could just keep moving forward and ignore him. Never mind. And that gets settled very quickly.
Did you see that? It was just like, Guy Joker pops out and he was like jousting with his gun and stabs him in the stomach with it.
That does not feel good to be on the other end of that.
So, what an interesting play. Running into the Kiat building and they're just running around and shooting from every possible window and somehow not being seen on both sides. There was so many moments when either player could have seen the other while the other player had their back turned. That is just ludicrous. He's gonna look back at that and be like, how did I live?
I think it's a slightly more valid play now, only because the Kiat is now fully connected on the top story. That didn't used to be the case. There used to be a wall that separated the two, and if you'd have to run up 2 different staircases to reach each side. But yeah, if you get there, they know you're there. In particular, he downed somebody, and then he just keeps running back and forth. They all got focused on Kiat, and I think it stalled their attack quite effectively. I think maybe, again, if they had just said, you know what, there's a guy in Kiat, we're just going to run past him, which some teams might do, he would be in trouble. There would be cap danger there, but in that case, it worked out.
Yeah, they spent a lot of time trying to kill him, but they were unfortunately kind of doing it one at a time because I don't think they necessarily knew exactly where he was, just that he was somewhere in Kiat.
Yep.
But speaking on Kiat, they, like you said, they took out that wall, allowing you to move in between those freely. A bit easier to defend the objective. But you also have to worry about them coming around the side as well and capping from up there, which they always could do. So that's just always something to keep in mind too. The Kiat objective is just so hard to defend. But anyways, We're going to jump right into round 3 here. We have a 1-1 score line for this game so far. Neck and neck.
Oh, round reset.
Right when I decided to go in. Thanks a lot, guys.
Well, on the upside, we have both of our favorite objective this time, Split Street.
Split Street is so much fun.
Yes, I love this objective.
It's fun to attack, it's fun to defend, it's cappable, but it's also, not too hard either. It's not like Kiat where it just feels terrible to defend it.
Mm-hmm. It is a very nice balance of all those factors.
All right, here. So, looks like we're not going to get another round reset this time. Right, guys? Right? Let's jump right into the gameplay here. All right, let's see how these players choose to defend it. I think this objective has a lot of different styles that you can use to defend it here. You got a nice kind of like half moon defense ring for demon killers here. They're watching mostly towards the market. The attack on the east has actually already crossed the tank here and made it across without being seen at all. So this is going to be really powerful for Blackwatch going into this attack, as they can come up to the ice cream truck here and they can come into this building, and if they go really slow, they won't be able to hear them. They could also go all the way around, go south, and then come through the south road kind of back entrance to the objective. but they would have to deal with Victor in that case. Sky Joker checking his tablet here. He's going to continue moving forward. Meanwhile, Eclipse takes out the player on the far southwest, killing him and opening up that avenue of approach. But they will have to worry about Ben Bot, who has kind of like a secondary position going prone. And in fact, he takes out Eclipse with his AKM and really got even a 2 times on there. Sky Joker takes out Mei in the blue room. The cover fire has started. And now Doom is going to have to defend this objective from Sky Joker and Cash Crazy. Victor coming around for a nice pickup, coming up behind near the tank here, shooting him in the back. And Sky Joker now is having to suddenly worry about his backside as well as his front.
What's interesting is if he can clear Doom, I think we all know Sky Joker is a very fast capper. If he can just get this pick and run onto objective, they could have 2 points on the board.
Yeah, if he does that, I'm going to call it. That'll be all over. Ben would have to come down the stairs. He would have to run in there. He'd have to choose to check the outside or the inside. And I don't think he would have enough time for that. Razor, Reflex, and Crowbow team up to take out Ben Bob. Definitely aware of his position there. And that's the last player.
There it is.
And he's already on objective, but he did not check the objective room. You got to check the objective room even when you're going for a cap. You never know where they are. Victor takes out Crowbro as he was about to come around that corner. Victor in a nice, opportune location in order to defend the objective. You can see that he, was on the southeast side of the map, but as no one was going that way, he repositioned into a position that was relevant to the match. And without him there's a good chance the Demon Killers would have lost this round. So good pickup from him. Doom takes out Crowbro, finishing him off, and now Razor Reflex is going to have to push this objective all by his lonesome, but he is in a good spot to do it.
And somebody apologizing for stealing a kill. Rule number 1, never apologize for stealing kills.
Rule number 2 is, don't say needless information, especially this late in the round, that gives Razor Reflex the perfect amount of information to know exactly where you are. But I mean, also don't apologize for your kills, right? So
yeah, I do agree though. Razor Reflex, I don't know what kind of kill count they have right now, but they should assume there's at least one, maybe more, and you already know where the other defender is, so best to stay quiet unless you absolutely have a reason to say something.
Yeah, so now Razor Reflex here. I'm just going to jump along and see how he does his stuff here. Slowly creeping up on objective building here. He's going slow enough that no one should be able to hear him at all. As long
Victor
as
is charging him though from the opposite side. Yeah, he's about to pop the corner. Yep, there it is. Oh, and then he shoots himself, trying to confirm.
No one's stealing my kill. Except me.
He just denied himself. Man, that self-shooting bug is so unfortunate.
It sure is, but I mean, it happened after the fact there. He did stop that sneaky attempt to get to the cap there, and even if he didn't go into the objective room and clear him out, he could have just snuck and gone like next to this box here and capped on the outside. They didn't really have that covered so much, at least not 100% covered all the time. So Victor did a great move there, repositioning, kind of just being aware of where the enemy team probably was at that time. I think because he had just a really good control over the east side of the map.
Agreed. We shall see what Blackwatch does this time.
When you're jumping to a player, 2 to maximum's name is just 2D.
I'll run this way.
All right, so it looks like we're going to go in here. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Round 4 starting up right now. Running a shield for Demon Killers here. It's pretty interesting to see a shield on Bazaar. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, he's got a shield and he has a flashlight.
Sometimes it's dark in the alleys, okay?
Well, the flashlight is so blinding right now that if you do get right on somebody with it, it is pretty nasty. I have not seen Mei use a shield before, so I'm not sure how effective he is with it. But there are some teams that are borderline famous for using the shield very well on Bazaar, particularly, I would argue, Mike Crook on Globochem.
Definitely some really brutal shield users. So an interesting attack here. There's pretty much a delayed attack. They were trying to get some picks there early, and by going kind of slow, Eclipse was able to cross the street onto scaffolding without being seen. Cash takes out Ben Bob and Doom 54 there. Nice pickup from him. I didn't think he'd be able to see from that angle there, but they must have exposed themselves just a little too much. Meanwhile, Victor has shot his first rounds for Marsoc here. And now they should know where the rest of the attack is probably coming from, considering they took out 2 players in quick succession there. To the maximum, kind of choosing to sneak out of the building here. Kind of wary of someone being across the street here, just kind of hiding in these buildings, or maybe in the rubble next to BW Eclipse.
Yeah, Eclipse firing on the shield. He was being pretty disciplined about that before, but now they are well aware of his position.
Ooh, he decides to reposition. Victor pops out to get shots on target, but just a little bit off, and Eclipse is able to escape with his life there. Maximum comes around the corner, trades with Eclipse, but with Eclipse only downed, he could give some valuable information to his team, as he's close enough to the wall that he should be able to hear movement. Victor, Eclipse trying to get Victor to come out and confirm him. Give Sky Joker an opportunity to kill him, probably on the radio right now, trying to make them aware that he's trying to get their attention. And he does get that confirm up. Sky Joker doesn't quite catch that rotation here, but if Victor comes out the same door into the market, he should be engaged by Sky Joker.
And Mei has made his way all the way to the south. And Sky Joker, I believe, heard him because he was calling for coverage in the south. Yeah, he just called him out. He said behind blue room. It's a Crowbro. Will it be in position to shoot him in the back if he pops out? Maybe did not check that south, so he is about to get shot in the back if he is not careful. He just tucked himself behind those boxes, which I believe are impenetrable.
And there we go. Nice shot from Crowbro, taking out Mei. Exactly like you said, good teamwork and communication from Blackwatch on this round, working together in order to defend every avenue of approach and not expose themselves to the front of a shield, which is, really hard to attack and actually be successful at. It's usually just a waste of ammo.
Wow. Victor threw a grenade that landed right in front of Razor. If you look at Razor's position, that was an NFL-style bomb there. That was wild. It didn't land on him, but the fact that it got that far was pretty crazy. Also, interesting to note that Sky Joker has placed a flashlighted pistol in the hallway right behind him.
Are you surprised? Because I'm not.
Not at all. This is becoming sort of a trademark move of Sky Joker, along with the fast capping.
Yeah, they sure do love that blinding tactic. At the very least, you might get a response from them as they get blinded there unexpectedly, maybe even pre-firing it. And here we go. You can see that right now he pre-fires the flashlight, giving Cash Crazy the awareness of his position, allowing him to pick him up without a struggle there.
Yep, I guess the flashlight paid off because Victor saw it and shot at it, and that immediately gave away his position. Perhaps that will become more part of the meta game, or something that everybody has to kind of be trained on, is don't just fire blindly at flashlights.
Right. It's hard because there could be someone just laying prone behind it or something too, so
sure,
it's kind of a 50-50 kind of situation, if you know what I mean.
It is a bit of a coin toss. But yeah, I think in the future, though, if anybody is playing specifically against Blackwatch, they will likely know that that is a trap, but that is something you could use to your advantage on any team now, is set up a flashlight and see if you can bait somebody into a pre-fire. I've also seen, not just Blackwatch, but a couple other teams do that on objectives like the North Stairs and Subway and the Middle House on Suburbia, where they just place a flashlight on the steps. And you really don't know, because a lot of times people are hanging out on those steps. And you kind of have to pre-fire it, which turns into a trap.
Surprise, surprise, that team was probably Blackwatch.
Yeah, probably. But I think I've seen at least a couple other bronze teams do that. I don't think I've seen any of the higher tier teams, because a lot of the higher tier teams just aren't using flashlights at all. It's been the case for a long time. But again, maybe the metagame will start shifting as people see footage of this.
Meanwhile, James is going to be like, I've been using flashlights before it was cool.
James.
We're going to be jumping into Kiat here. One of the, if not the hardest objective to defend successfully. This is a kind of objective where you can see the skills of those fast cappers really come out and shine. So I'm really interested in seeing how this one plays out. And every round that I've seen Blackwatch play of this objective has been really spicy. So Demon Killer, sorry, needs to be really on their toes and watching every possible angle, because Blackwatch just has this ability to really worm their way in any spot that's not being defended and get the cap on this map or this objective.
Agreed. And I will say it's a little easier to defend now because of that aforementioned hallway on the top story of Kiat. So if you hear somebody coming in on one side, you don't have to run down the stairs and then run up another set like you used to, which made Kiat very hard to defend. Now you can watch both upper levels and in fact go down into both upper levels from that top story without having to make a transition. Still hard to defend, but it's a little bit easier now.
They got Crowbro running just right in the center of Split Street here with his signature light machine gun. I think that's a tactic they use quite a bit there. You know, get that person there. Once the attack really, cooks up and starts going, he just lays fire down. He suppresses all of upper story Kiat and all of the market, and he has all the rounds that he needs in order to do so. And he's just in a great position to do it. It's just a question of, will teams start to pick up on these common positions that some of these teams like to take and really exploit that. A frag going onto Crowbro could really put, the hurt onto their attack, for example, if they were aware of that kind of positioning.
Yeah, I would say the same thing about May's position as well. If you go on May, he is right in front of the fountain, and that is a commonly frag spot when people are attacking Kiat, because it is so devastating. If you don't clear that, it can be very hard to deal with once you're into Kiat from the opposite side.
Definitely, it's a great spot, but a dangerous spot. And you definitely have to be aware of those shortcomings. BW Eclipse catching Ben Boop through the kind of wood stalls there in the back of Kiat. Good pickup and good vision from him. That's going to be a key pickup, as now they're going to have to worry about their backside being attacked and they don't have their main back defender player. The pre-fire has started from Crowbro, as discussed before, getting their attention, allowing them to attack from different angles and hopefully have a bit more of a good approach there without being seen. BW Eclipse coming in his signature backdoor attack method here, and he's going to be on objective any moment now. Doom is in a decent position to catch him going through if he doesn't check his corners there. Victor getting really aggressive on the backside with Razor Reflex. Eclipse taking out May. Nice shot from him. Victor going slow. Eclipse taking out Doom, going upstairs. Not sure if he's going to go for the cap there. I think he is. He's on there. He's capping. Oh, but he gets team killed.
You got
no
team
capping.
kill.
Let's kill them all. That's what he's saying. Razor Reflex catches Victor in the back as he tries to come into the objective area. Good shot from him, keeping his cool here. And now the objective is entirely open, but Sky Joker trades with Maximum.
That was unfortunate.
You heard some crying there at the end, and I can feel it. I feel it.
They were so close. They could have had the map right there. Just an unfortunate team kill. And the really nasty part is that now Demon Killers are on offense on Kiat, which means they have the opportunity to close the map out if they do get a cap. So
definitely a great opportunity for Demon Killers to get that surprise quick win before anyone realizes what's happening.
Yeah, if they end up losing this map, as a result of that, they are really going to be kicking themselves. But perhaps Black Watch can pull out a defense and nullify that. I'm not sure, but just yeah, that's brutal. That was a hard moment for sure.
Absolutely. And Eclipse, look at that score line, man. That's pretty good. Can't knock it. 10-4.
Wow. Yeah,
Sometimes you have bad games. Sometimes you have decent games, and sometimes you're just on fire.
Yeah, it's also worth mentioning too that it's possible to have a high KDR and have your team still underperform. So, for all you newer players out there, don't just optimize for your KDR. Make sure you're being a good team player and you're more interested in the success of your team than your own kill rate.
Right, and there's just certain positions that if everything is going well, they're not going to see the enemy. I remember in our match against Dark Matter, for example, I was kind of like the most furthest back reserve position that Wookiee usually plays, and I I never saw anybody. It just happened to go our way that time. But if it went wrong, it would really be important that I hold that position. So definitely keep that in mind.
Yep. All right, let's get this spice underway. Kiat round 2.
Yeah.
I feel like there's almost a debate in the Onward community about how to pronounce that. It's Kiat, Kayat.
Thank you.
Kyoto.
No one calls it Kyoto. Don't mislead the youth, Mono.
I thought we were just here for misinformation and self-aggrandizement.
Well, the second half of that, obviously. That's why I'm here.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying it is or it isn't happening, but anyway, moving on.
Yeah,
we're
seeing almost not identical, but fairly close defensive setup. It's the Crowbro in the same spot that Mei was in. I'm a little surprised no one is just pre-fragging that position. It seems like almost every game I'm watching now, at least at the bronze level that goes to Bazaar, somebody is there. And the lack of utility being dropped in that spot, I find just a bit shocking.
Do you want to check and see if Demon Killers has been casted in the past?
Let's see.
Let's see who's that. All right, Ben Bob here moving up slowly but surely. Mei coming up with his shield as well. Cash Crazy making some noise. Shots ringing out from the pistol, motioning to his rifleman where the defenders are. Frag comes out in the corner here, but Cash Crazy I think is on the other side near the stairs instead, so that frag isn't going to catch him out, but good attempt using the sound to their advantage. Razor Reflex comes around on the north street there, taking out Mei, possibly in a spot he didn't expect, and Ben Bob now knows that he's totally surrounded by the enemy with at least 2 players next to him. And there definitely could be more depending on how they choose to defend this objective.
Yeah, just while we have a moment, I did check. This is the first time that Demon Killers has been casted.
We'll definitely talk about that in a moment. Let's catch this Crowbow like as low as possible, putting his head sideways on the floor there, trying to get a shot off and be as low as possible. Eclipse looking straight up, trying to catch anybody. Ben Bob comes out ahead on this trade with Razor Reflex, downing him. And he gets me stuck in the wall. Nice shot from Doom, taking out BW Eclipse, getting just a little aggressive on that defense there, trying to catch out 2 to maximum. And Blackwatch is effectively down, down 3 players. And they just have 2 main defenders left. They're going to have to really risk the cap here if they go for the res.
There's 3 downs in one spot.
What are you guys doing? Wake up. They
There we
really
go.
need to rush back to objective as the cap is definitely open if they come from the backside there. Nobody capitalized on that, but of course they can't know that one of the last defenders did rotate off for that res. There's always a judgment call that you have to make there within the fog of war.
And
Flash comes out.
Doom 54 is making his way through the middle. It's the Crowbro is watching the wrong way. Oh, he just rotated back. This is going to get spicy real quick. Who is going to win this? And
boom.
Doom 54 gets that. Objective is now open from one side.
Yeah,
Cash Crazy.
Yeah, he hasn't checked his tablet. Oh.
Oh no, and it is all down to the west side.
Cash Crazy and Razor Reflex both knowing that the cap could be happening. Rush onto objective there. They are covering it. Ooh, the shield on his back.
Shooting maximum capping right now. This cap is happening. Wow. Oh, and it... Two to maximum.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was about to say that it was a fast cap. But
yeah,
unfortunately, the last player was killed before the cap could happen. It's something that definitely can happen. It's something you have to worry about when, you know, you have a good kill count. You know, there's only like 1 or 2 people left defending a spot. You really have to, you know, work against yourself. Stop yourself from shooting that person. You know, your reflexes tell you, pull the gun up, shoot that player. But instead, you need to pull off. You need to let them kill you. And that's, you know, that also speaks to the whole KDR thing. It's sometimes your personal loss equates to your team's winning. But it's just something you have to practice.
Exactly. It's just a matter of experience and coordinating with your team and what to expect. I know we have had plays where, you know, the interest is not in getting kills. It's just more or less being a distraction. You just put fire down, you run out in the open, whatever, specifically to draw attention so that the cap can finish. And in that case, they had 3 people swarmed on objective. Somebody was right in, I think it was Sky Joker was the last defender. They had somebody right in his face. Should have just died right there because he would not have come back in time.
Can I just go straight up there? Can I go straight up there?
Let's jump into round 7 here. 3-3 score line. Anybody's game here.
Sure.
You know, who's going to come out on top here? Both of these teams trading points back and forth, and a lot of close rounds, close caps. So I could see either team coming out ahead here, and I'm really excited to see that it's just so neck and neck.
Yeah, and I know we talked about the flaws of the Connoisseur system, but I think the Connoisseur system was sort of downgrading what Demon Killers could do as Razor Reflex downs Doom 54. Demon Killers showing that that one-sided voting was not justified, because this is a very close game.
Razor Reflex might even pick up a second player here, you know, depending on if he can see that movement of the prone player. A lot of defenders coming up here, expecting a strong push to the north. There's 4 players, in fact, all looking across there. Nice pre-fire from Mei, really suppressing the lane, allowing that res to go off safely. And Razor Reflex, while in a great position here to keep the team looking at him, if he exposes himself too much, he's just going to get taken out with the amount of eyes on target here. 3 players on a you know, looking across this lane, and only 2 players on objective. Nobody sitting across from it. BW Eclipse is going to be able to cross the street with impunity here, depending on if Mei will come out and see him, but he won't. And we could just see a cap right down the middle.
Yeah, it looks like Eclipse is going to go through the West Market instead, and he's about to run right into 2 to maximum.
Comes around the corner, takes out 2 to maximum. Nice shot there, looking down. He had to look down below the, you know, the stall there as he was really low. Sky Joker takes out Victor, who's getting a little bit aggressive here. We can kind of see that Victor is kind of the attack dog for Demon Killers, really putting the hurt onto their players and being aggressive. Doom takes out Razor Reflex there. Sky Joker makes it across. He's in the cap room. He has to tablet out. He is capping right now. Ben, Bob, and Mei are distracted by Eclipse, and Sky Joker continues to try to get this cap. Eclipse is taken out by Ben, Bob, and there we go. The cap happens. Blackwatch takes this map 5-3.
That was some quality use of cover fire there. They knew the cap was happening. They were communicating, and Eclipse just started letting rounds out. Didn't seem to care if he died or not, which is exactly what we were talking about, and gave just enough time to Sky Joker for that cap to come out. And 5-3 ends up being the scoreline in favor of Blackwatch.
That was a great play. I really liked it. You had everything. Everyone was moving up in line. They had a distraction person on the north who, you know, once he realized, hey, there's like a million players trying to kill me right now, I'm going to play a little conservative. I'm going to let some rounds out. I'm going to keep them looking my way. I'm not going to let myself die too fast, because then they would stop looking my way. And I'm going to give my team the opportunity to push forward and get onto the point without taking any enemy fire. And it really worked out well there, giving Sky Joker that opportunity to cap, and Eclipse just sealing the deal by running around the corner, letting he's just basically shooting the floor at this point. You know, like, hey, I'm right here and I'm next to the objective. You really need to pay attention to me. And I think a lot of teams would be distracted by that, no matter what MMR range you're at. So I think it was a great set of plays, you know, over and over there, and giving them the win ultimately on that objective.
I was just happy with that whole map. It was a lot of back and forth. I felt like they were giving each other a hard time, and then Blackwatch just got an edge on that last play with that very coordinated attack. But yeah, it was neck and neck. I could have gone to a coin flip easily.
Speaking back on your point that, you know, Demon Killers has never been casted before. This is going to be their first cast. They have played a couple matches in the VRML, but this is the first time they've been casted. Their strategies have been shown to the world. And so it's hard to really plan for that, you know, their gameplay style without seeing some casts or having some kind of data points, like maybe a scrim or what have you. So, you know, putting that pre-game like research in can really pay dividends. I mean, that's where you start seeing the blind frags just thrown over the wall and taking out 2 enemy players and knowing exactly where each defender is probably going to be. And it allows you to really have that kind of upper hand going into a match.
Yeah, one of the ironies of moving up the ladder is that when you're at the bottom, it tends to be much harder to prepare effectively against your opponents because there's just not enough data. And as you start playing against higher and higher ranked teams, it becomes, you know, the games are harder, no doubt, but the truth is you can watch tons of footage and pick up on tendencies just from doing that. Whereas the bronze and some silver teams even are more of a black box where you just have to go in and say, all right, we're going to play our game, and hopefully that's enough.
It's actually, yeah, like you said, there's 2 different styles that you need to be good at, because when you start as a new team, you have to be able to really work off the cuff. You need to be able to work with your team to figure out, you know, where they are, react to it in the match as it's going on. While these higher MMR teams, you got to kind of go into this more analytical mindset where you know exactly what we're going to be doing, for example, or one of the possible plays we're going to be doing. And you got to really know what those are. Otherwise, you're going to get, you know, destroyed trying to attack it, just, you know, working off the cuff.
Yep.
So let's jump into map 2 here, Suburbia. And round 1 is going to be starting right now. This is a map that a lot of these newer teams do like, as well as veteran teams. So we should see some pretty good gameplay going on here.
I will say this middle house objective used to be one of the most challenging objectives to deal with as an offensive player, but now the windows are much larger and easier to throw grenades through. And as a defender, you have to be much more conservative about how you're placing people in that house, or you will get blown up very quickly.
Meanwhile, Sky Joker and right next, in lane 2, kind of defending lane 1, lane 2 area here, should come into contact with Mei running his signature shield, as well as Victor and Doom, who are very close by here. Marsoc is taking the time to really just kind of get the surround on the center objective, and Blackwatch has really chosen to take a really conservative style of defense here, being really close to the objective with 4 players, only one kind of sitting far back, who arguably is one of the most potent defenders for this objective, able to shoot through this bottom doorway, stop any player from going up the stairs without dealing with him. But really, it's just a really tight defense style. A lot of talking going on for Demon Killers. Mei is kind of quarterbacking his team here. Doom runs into the center house here. He goes upstairs. He makes it up. He takes out Cash Crazy. He is near objective. He's going to come around. He takes out Lando. And now he's on the point there. BW Eclipse coming to try and stop him. But Doom cannot be stopped. He is a beast. He is on objective. He almost looks like he doesn't know what to do with himself as he expects all the defending players to come up and defend objectives. Sky Joker takes out Victor.
Tablet out. Tablet out. This is happening.
Here we go.
This is happening. Oh, is he going to make it? No!
What a tense moment there. You know, Doom, he had to take out 3 players, 2 defending the objective and 1 running up the stairs there. It's really hard to know when that stream of players is going to stop. So I definitely feel him on that, trying to just take a moment before he got that cap off. Razor Reflex takes out Ben Bob. May comes up the stairs hot and ready, but not quite ready enough as Razor Reflex takes him out and then now has a shield, which is really great for the defense. He flips the shield over to him.
I got it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Demon Killers almost had 2 points on the board there. And after that failed cap attempt, they were just sort of feeding themselves one by one up the stairs, which the defense was more than happy to take advantage of. Now it's all up to Theta Maximum to deal with Razor Reflex and Sky Joker, plus a shield on top of the stairs.
He does have 2 minutes here. If he could get one pick, just one pick, it would really help him out on this approach. And even something I would think about right here in Theta Maximum's position. If you have a decent kill count, if you know that there's probably only one or two players left and they're probably unobjective for this one, you can basically move around with impunity as long as you're aware of the windows, and you can run around and try and find as much utility as possible. Like you said, the frags are the name of the game here. Frags through the window allows you to take out the defenders, and if you see how Sky Joker and Razor Reflex are arrayed right now, a frag in the window in the right spot could take out both immediately and just end the round right then and there.
Oh, yeah, although it appears they have changed their position. Sky Joker far enough away from Razor Reflex that if a frag were to go through, they could have one survivor. Oh, here we go. Some frags going out.
That's my kind of frag. Unfortunately, misses the window just barely there. Sky Joker moving the shield around over and over there, trying to get as many angles as possible. Theta Maximum here has his nice drum magazine, so he's going to continue to be able to pre-fire. Nice shot into Razor, barely just a sliver, shooting him, and now opening up opportunity. He pulls a flash, flashing upstairs, and Sky Joker here is going to be in trouble here if he is flashed. But on the upside for him, he's got that flashlight really shining down that stairs and making it difficult for Theta Maximum to do this attack.
30 seconds for Theta Maximum. There's also a flashlight on top of the stairs, so that's going to be a problem.
Oh, shots
So
laying
close.
out. Theta Maximum attacks up the stairs, taking out Sky Joker, winning it for his team there. The first point of the map goes to Demon Killers.
Very nice clutch there by Theta Maximum, rushing up the stairs to get that kill against his nice little form of guerrilla warfare. Popped in, took one out, ran back, ran around, threw a grenade, and just made it seem a lot more chaotic for Sky Joker. And then finally with that last push up and shot him. Yeah, excellent work on that 1v1, starting with a 1v2, I should say.
That was a spicy round. There's just so much going on. It felt like it was like John Wick, just running up the stairs, fighting everybody off, and just barely being able to defend that objective. And good job from Blackwatch responding immediately to that explosive push by Doom. I mean, if they didn't do that, if they just held their positions, they would have lost.
Yep, I think Doom safely can be classified as the spice merchant of the last round.
Definitely pat yourself on the back for that one. Even if it didn't work out for you, it was good skills, good kills, and a lot of fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave now.
Get out.
On the contrary, let's jump right into round 2 here. I don't think Blackwatch is going to let them take that point without, trying to take it back right off their hands here. And let's see how they push this objective. It looks like they're going for a more aggressive style here. BW Eclipse just running right in there. Sky Joker on the side, trying to cover his side. BW Eclipse runs through, trades with Doom, but you will be able to get rezzed here. Nice trez. Sky Joker comes around, takes out Victor. May trying to defend himself.
Oh, no.
But he can't defend himself from Eclipse, who now has to make up for it by getting this cap. You better do it, buddy. Buddy, old pal. Here goes the cap. It's happening. Theta Maximum trying to come up here and stop your Eclipse.
Oh.
This seems like it happened before.
Oh, the irony. Eclipse was the one who got team killed while capping on Bazaar, and then he team kills to get his cap. He says, no, I'm going to get this cap today, not you, Sky Joker.
Cash takes out Ben Bob, trying to rush back into objective here. But I think that Blackwatch takes the round here. Dude, Maxim getting really aggressive there at the end.
So much happened, I could not keep track of all of it, but yet another high spice flow round, I will say. Sky Joker and Eclipse were just on the objective. I mean, they rushed in there and took out those defenders, and if that team kill had not happened, I think that would have been a cap easily.
Yeah, I do think that that would have been really powerful. They would have had one player able to defend the stairs while the other got that cap in. But, you know, when you're breaching those really CQB style objectives and there's only one way up, you don't know who came out on top on those traits. You don't necessarily have eyes on because you're kind of staying staggered off so you don't get flashed or killed in the same bullet stream. It definitely can be difficult there. But in the end, they did take the round, bringing this back to a 1-1, and we're back to trading. Do you remember in the first map, were they trading mostly Marsoc rounds or Volk rounds?
I think they were trading Marsoc rounds, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but my intuition is that it was Marsoc rounds.
Well, it's not. Well, it's kind of tough and, you know, kind of dicey when it comes to Marsoc trade rounds. At the same time, those are the skills that are hardest to hone. You know, getting that attack off, working together. The Volk defenses, I think, can be shored up pretty quickly once you realize, you know, what spots that you're not really watching or the rotations are off. But those Marsoc attacks, if they're not working for you, it takes a lot of effort to get those really under control.
Yeah, offense is always harder. It requires more initiative on your part, whereas defense can just by default play more passively. And that means when you're on offense, you got to take risks, and you're going to fail, and you have to figure out how to deal with those failures and how to prevent them in the future. It requires a lot more thinking, in my experience.
Let's jump on in here to round 3. See how this one plays out. Lane 1 objective. Usually some spicy action coming down lane 1. Fires traded on both sides. Let's see if that happens for these two teams here. Victor leading the charge for his team here. Pretty common, I think. He seems to be like that front man, really putting the hurt on and really pushing forward and trying to break into their defense, as it were.
It's interesting. They're sending 4 through lane 1, and then Mei with the shield appears to be sort of the intelligence gatherer more on lane 4.
If he can get all the way down to lane 4 and get onto the street, that can be pretty strong, as you can see most of the street there, and really catch them or force them to look at you, and they'll be looking opposite of where all your riflemen are. So I can dig it. Frag comes out from Sky Joker, flashes and frags. He's got his signature pistol behind him to blind anybody coming up, but that does kind of tell you where Sky Joker probably is sitting, as it's right above his position here. Meanwhile, Victor continues his push forward. He's almost made it to the Humvee area here. He's going to have to pop out and expose himself, and the defenders are ready. Cash Crazy watching that exact spot, expecting him to come out from there. Meanwhile, Ben Bob still can't quite find out where Sky Joker is. He's just kind of waiting there now. Sky Joker pops around, takes out 2 to maximum there, almost takes out Ben Bob, but not quite, and Ben Bob has some pre-fire back, but isn't quite able to find where he is again. Sky Joker's position really working out for him.
Yeah, they're spending a lot of time and energy trying to figure out where he is.
And it's working out really well for him. Meanwhile, Sky Joker taking out Ben Bob, and Victor gets taken out lane 1 by Cash, who is just dutifully watching his angle. Good work on his part. Now it's just up to Doom, and again, he doesn't quite know where Sky Joker is. He can't get the kind of angle to really attack him without exposing himself here. And he's going to come around the corner, but at the last moment looks away, and Sky Joker capitalizes on that, taking the round.
So what was that? Was that 3 or 4 kills for Sky Joker there? Because that position turned into
3.
a pivotal one. He's now up to 8-2 after that, but they saw that flashlight and lost that person, and they all seem to focus their attention on clearing his position. So that was one of the more effective defensive plays we've seen all match.
I kind of think like they're like, no one would be behind that box. Like they're exposed on one side, right? Right, guys? Yeah, it was fun to watch. Sky Joker definitely getting really good shots, just popping up there, taking those shots, taking out a player, and then just hiding again. And they're like, where is he? What is he doing? And just unfortunate for them there. It can definitely be scary to try to breach around a corner like that, you not knowing exactly where they are and exposing yourself on one side. So a lot of things to keep in mind when, trying to go for that refrag.
Yep. Just a lot to keep track of when there's bullets flying through the air.
Let's see how they choose to come back from this. Will they be able to put a point on the board, bringing it back to the faded 2-2? That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah, now that I think about it, it was Marsoc rounds they were trading last time because we kept having those near caps, but the near caps were always wins. So, yeah, it seems to be the opposite now, playing defense more than anything.
Yes, we might be pivoting into defense trades. Let's jump in to round 4 here. See how this one plays out. Pushing across here. See just how far they choose to push up here. Doom kind of checking his kit before he pushes forward. A lot of porch spots being taken for this defense, and pretty typical as well, as they are very powerful for the defenders here. Mei and 2 to maximum here in the far side of lane 1, and should be able to catch Lando, which he does. And now he can push forward and look down this angle and possibly catch Cash Crazy or Sky Joker with a pre-fire. Mei coming around the corner here. Cash Crazy was hiding behind the boxes there. BW Eclipse firing straight down lane 4 to get their attention. 2 to maximum downing Razor Reflex in the center of the map. Sky Joker is going to have to be really careful about this res with Mei still around and able to take him out if he did, but Mei was too busy trying to fight Cash Crazy. BW Eclipse takes out Doom. Ben Bob takes out Eclipse. Guys, go slower, please. For my voice.
Yeah, Mei and Cash Crazy have just been duking it out in lane 1.
Victor dukes it out with Sky Joker even and comes out ahead. It does not confirm his kill though. Sky Joker will be able to give info or possibly get a res if he stays very quiet. Mei meanwhile using his PKM to the fullest of its abilities, really free firing down the lane. Sees Cash Crazy last second, pulls around the corner and gets around before he gets taken out. Cash Crazy, aware of his position here, is deciding that he's not going to take this fight. He's going to rotate to a different angle there. Maybe try and come around to get Sky Joker. Razor Reflex is taken out by Ben Bob, and Cash Crazy takes out Victor. Mei heard Sky Joker talk, but is really preoccupied with fighting Mei. But Mei chooses, hey, I'm just going to get this free kill and get out of here.
A man after my own heart.
Oh, he comes around the corner there and wins the trade with Cash Crazy, giving Demon Killers the round. And as faded, it's back to a 2-2.
Yes. The seal must not be broken on defense this map.
I feel like we should quit being casters and become like soothsayers or, psychics or something.
Let me just polish up my crystal ball for this one. Yeah, I think I'm about as accurate as a psychic at this point with my connoisseur picks, so wouldn't be too far off. Well, anyway, I think this one may change the balance a little bit, just because this is one of the more open objectives on this map, probably the most open objective aside from maybe the red car, because you have to defend this from multiple angles. If someone creeps in from either the north or the south, and you're not watching on that same side, they can cap behind the tank. So this will take a little more acuity on the defensive side than the previous objectives. I've also noticed they've been playing really aggressive defense too, like May pushing up way hard on lane 1.
Well, it worked out for him. Blackwatch definitely wasn't expecting that. They got at least one free kill before they even looked over, and then they were fighting in that lane 1 area that entire game.
Yep.
See how this one plays out here. The thing is though, you know, when I'm living in a neighborhood, I really get bothered when people leave their tanks. I mean, if you're gonna have one, that's fine. Park it on your, you know, your parkway or whatever, but don't just leave it in the middle of the street. You know,
Well,
it takes up all the room. I mean, look at this. How do you get around this?
Well, all the vehicles on this map are just parked, except for the red car. The red car driver was fairly courteous, and somebody parked in their driveway too on the Marsoc spawn side. But like, who puts a school bus on the sidewalk? I mean, this person is transporting children. And then on top of that, you've got the APCs on both sides just like haphazardly laid across the curb and the sidewalk. I mean, all these people need to be fired, I think.
This is one of those bad neighborhoods, I think. One of those dangerous ones to be in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's supposed to take place in North Carolina, so North Carolina, you got some cleaning up to do. Yep.
All right, here, let's jump into round 5. Pretty quick rounds going between these two teams, not wasting any time to get into contact, get some brutal gunfire going on, and we're going to probably see that as well in this round here. 2 to maximum, pushing up quite a bit. Eclipse picking him out from his spot in the... Why do I always do this? Theta, why do I always do this?
Do what?
I always can't think of the playground. It takes me like 5 seconds to remember the playground. Why is it so hard?
I mean, there's monkey bars and a slide. I'm not sure.
A lot of flashes coming out from Sky Joker here. He's going to push around the corner here. Takes out Ben Bob and taken out by Victor in a nice refrag. Sounds like I missed some good action over here in the playground.
Yeah, May tried to push Eclipse. I think he took the shield away from his main hand and tried to push with just a pistol, and Eclipse mowed him down with a PKM.
Shield might actually save his life here as Doom comes around the corner, catching BW, but shooting him anyway. Nice, accurate fire from Doom there. It's just shooting the back of his legs.
Yeah, I think maybe having that turtle shell can give you a little too much confidence sometimes.
Alrighty, so now the defense here. They have 2 players, both on the north side of the objective, both on the bottom story. They really have to be careful here. Cash Crazy should be able to catch any crosses from lane 4, but if he looks away at the wrong moment and Doom crosses behind the tank on the south side, it'd be all over for him.
Yeah, I wonder too, I mean, I've never tested this. I wonder if you could prone and be low enough from the lane 4 APC and then just get low to the point where Cash Crazy would not be able to see out that window. I don't think so, but maybe you'd get
sleuthing
lucky.
Right now. Mono sleuth cam. No, I don't think so. I can see his hands.
Yeah, I probably have to just push out and get lucky on the timing. Cash Crazy looking in another angle or something.
Hey, I mean, he has Victor to help him out here. This is where the kind of pre-fire, suppressive fire, more rather, it would work really well for him. If he just, you know, got out there, he started shooting. You know, you don't even know necessarily, depending on the kill count, how many members are still alive here. Neither side really able to kind of step forward and make a move here. Victor slowly pushing up on the lane 1 APC. You know, everyone just doesn't want to be the first one to be heard, though. Everyone's going low and slow and checking absolutely everything here. And he's coming around the corner here. Razor Reflex has his eyes on this objective. He comes across and Razor Reflex takes him out as Victor just looked the wrong way at the wrong time there, right as he breached the corner.
It's all up to Doom. He does have a shield.
I don't know about the shield. I think unless you're really good with the shield, it often actually will make you play worse.
Well, I think the one benefit it could give him Well, I was gonna say you could absorb some fire, and then you could, rotate and figure out a better angle, but that did not happen.
So I'm not exactly sure if this is how it happened, but he waved his hand at the person shooting at him, and then he died.
Oh man,
I think he.
I didn't see that. I was watching from a different angle. That's crazy. Oh man, yeah. If you're watching at home, don't wave at your opponents when they can shoot at you. It's not usually a good idea.
I really hope that's what happened, and he got shot in the hand. I'm sorry, that was just really funny, and it goes to my point. Like, it's really hard to use the shield effectively. I mean, all these players make it look so easy, but then when you try to do it, you haven't practiced. It actually brings down your effectiveness, and he gave away his sneaky spot that no one knew where he was. Even if Cash might not have seen him if he was just sneaking around normally, that big shield really catches your eye and brings your attention to that spot.
Indeed. Yeah, I was thinking before he died that he could use the shield and get some kind of drawn fire and then rotate, drop the shield, and get an angle on them, but then he decided to wave hello to them, and that totally blew up my hypothesis.
It's pretty hard to do that too, because you drop the shield and then you try and grab your rifle, and then you grab the shield, and then you try to drop the thing and pull back a little bit, and then you grab the shield again anyway.
Yeah.
And just ad nauseum, and then you die while you're doing this big fumbling. Let's jump into round 6 here. Blackwatch slightly ahead, 1 point up on the defense here. Same objective right here on the tank, and we'll see how Demon Killers chooses to defend this. Center house has been taken. Eclipse and BW Cash Crazy and Eclipse, sorry, taking out Doom. He couldn't get rest right here. Sky Joker taking out Victor. The center house is now firmly in control of Marsoc. A lot of communication going down as well. Cash finishes off Doom. May takes out Razor Reflex here.
Oh, Sky Joker is about to be on the tank. This is going to be a cap.
Maybe.
Oh, never mind. Never mind.
He had to fight. There was a guy looking right at him.
Yeah. And that is the series.
Blackwatch takes the series. As you said, they are going to have to play the next map here, but technically speaking, they've won. So good job to them. It was a very close match, I think, especially on the map 1. A lot of back and forth trading going on between these two teams, and I think either team definitely could have came out on top there.
And the Snake Charmer music indicates it is quarantine time, and this may be Demon Killer's chance to get themselves some points, because this, as we've discussed many times, is sort of the equalizer map. People are still, in many ways, even at the high level, trying to figure this map out. So Demon Killers could throw a curveball and take some points off the board now.
I'm glad that we're going to see this. This is a fun one to play, fun one to cast, fun one to watch. Should be some spicy action here, and I don't know. I think the meta is still being formed, like you said. There's different strategies to be taken, different avenues of approach. It's definitely a complex map with a lot of opportunities for both teams to really capitalize, either having a really strong defensive position or having a really strong offensive push. And they all have their own inherent risks to them as well, so always fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the heuristic is that we still have a map where the callouts are not standardized. And you're seeing that. Like, we do not have a standard callout, for example, on the building next to the airplane. I mean, people are starting to use crash and impact, but even then I've heard different callouts. South Hospital is the one that called the new South Roof area, but some people are calling it warehouse, some people are calling it garage. Like, when you see that, it means there's still knowledge forming around the map, which is a good thing. It means we get to see the map meta develop on these casts and as people play it.
Definitely a lot to look out for on this map, and I'm excited to see how it goes down. Let's see. All these new posters they've added to make me really sad and shoot at them and get my position away. I mean, I'm not salty. You're salty.
Of course. I mean, I like to think in terms of spice. I don't think salt doesn't qualify as a spice, right? It's just more like a condiment.
Yeah, you just pour on like a jug of it, right? I mean, how else would you do it? If I can taste my food, it's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, as the saying goes, there's no such thing as too much salt. I mean, every chef knows that.
In America, at least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. You ever wonder, like, maybe they put, like, secrets on the map somewhere? They've been known to do it. For example, in Jungle, they had the dinosaur plushie thing that you could carry around with you, intimidate the enemy.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some Easter eggs floating around that people still haven't picked up on. It wouldn't surprise me.
Me too. We're gonna run in here. It looks like we're about to get started any moment here. Round 1 coming up hot for you guys. North objective. I think this one's a lot of fun to defend. A lot of things, a lot of different angles you can attack on. You can go aggressive, you can go slow. You can try and get those picks. Oh, never mind. Oh no.
Okay.
All right.
Just kidding, guys. It happens.
Every time.
Round reset. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it looks like they were getting somebody else in. They brought in Milliam Platypi. And it looks like Sky Joker left as well, so maybe they're swapping in somebody else for him.
Well, now that you guys did that to me, we're going to have to look at this distracting photo right here.
Oh, yeah. Look deep into that headset.
Oh.
You'll find your own identity within this picture.
Who is this? Who is this supposed to be? I want to know.
It's whoever you want it to be, Mono.
Oh, if you put it that way. I think that this person is the person that picked Subway. I mean, that's just me.
Well, you know, the saying goes that people who play Subway are just superior humans. That just goes without saying.
Right?
And this,
right?
I mean, look at this guy's hair and facial hair.
Oh,
Obviously a better person than the rest of us. So yes,
Right?
I would say he picks Subway. And anybody who doesn't pick Subway, especially for a cast, not going to name any names. Ah, it's terrible. It's painful. I'm just going to say that.
And if you disagree, you're wrong. So,
Yeah. It's just science, guys.
right? Are we starting? Are we gonna get another round reset? Because there's a 4v5. Is it?
Yeah, round reset.
You can't fool me this time, Blackwatch. You can't fool me.
I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in the team kill game out of Demon Killers. They only took out one of their own during both resets. Guys, when you have an opportunity to kill all your teammates and not be punished for it, you should jump on that opportunity.
Except if you're Marsoc, and then you have to do it politely with knives.
Yes. If you're on Marsoc, don't shoot your teammates, because you will, after the reset is done and you spawn back in, you will be in the same spawn point and give away information. So politely, respectfully, grab your knife and slit their throats. It's very simple. Just run around,
Jeez,
with a knife fully extended and just spin around like a crazed samurai and take out everybody before the round is taken back to the tent.
So this guy's on my team, guys. Ooh. I'm gonna have to think this one through. Ooh.
We do have a full 5 now. Sky Joker has come back in.
He's like, fine, I guess I'll play.
I mean, I know some teams do this where they want to bring in newer players if they've secured the first 2 maps. And I think I know Milliam just got picked up by Blackwatch, so that might be the thinking there. I'm not sure if they were trying to do it for another player, or maybe Sky Joker got DC'd I don't know. I did not get any messages from anybody about that.
Thanks for nothing, Sky Joker.
Just leaving us in a void of zero information.
Right.
Fantastic.
I think we're going to jump into a quick intermission here. As soon as it starts, we'll be jumping straight into the action, so don't step away. See you guys in a moment. All right, welcome back, everybody. We're going to get started here. Just a little hiccup, but we're back at it. The action is coming. Nice quick spawn. This objective is pretty brutal, pretty fast, depending on the spawn here, and I think we're going to see that here. Already in the west lane, we got some peeks from Crowbro and Victor. Neither player quite seeing the other. Victor pulling back. Kind of maybe looks like he's calling on his radio, so maybe he did see him. He's going to peek again here. Crowbro is ready there, but doesn't quite catch him rotating across there. Crowbro, or 2 to maximum, and Cash Crazy get into a nice little firefight on the opposite angle as 2 to maximum tried to get a nice flank onto Crowbro. But just like that, they're both down or dead, and Crowbro isn't quite sure what happened.
It doesn't look like he knows that there was a trade, so he is being quite cautious coming around that corner, understandably.
Yeah, you can see him here. He's watching that window like a hawk, expecting that kind of flank to come out there, trying not to expose himself to Victor all the way in the far northwest here. Can be tough without knowing exactly what happened to your teammate there. You're gonna have to expose yourself to figure it out there. He almost gets taken out by Victor. Meanwhile, the rest of Blackwatch, they got 2 members going all the way to the far east. Milliam and Lando are going to be able to make it across here. All eyes, except for one, are watching towards this west push that Sky Joker and Crowbro are putting on right now. Flash goes out. Sky Joker takes out Ben Bob. Looks like he was pushing really aggressively on the impact building, and you can see, oh, he's looking around the corner there. Shots are exchanged, but Crowbro comes out ahead. He will be able to get that confirm onto maximum as well. He's not sure if he got Victor yet. He looks like he's going to go in and he's going to check, probably get that confirm as well. This is looking dicey for Demon Killers here, as all eyes are on the west, like I said, and the push on the east has pushed up a bit here. They have gotten to position to make this cross, get on the north wall, and come into objective from behind. The res goes off from May. He makes it there, getting the res off. He gets back into position, and that res works out really well for them as they got a kill out of it.
Yeah, one thing they don't seem to be watching too closely on the north. Doom has been peeking a little bit from the semi, but Milliam and Lando getting closer and closer to the objective from that far east/north push. Doom seems to have picked up on something. He might have spotted that cross because he is now watching the far north wall. Yeah, I think he is expecting at least one, if not two, to come over there.
Well, he definitely knows now, as a flash was thrown from Lando. Another counter flash comes from Doom. Not quite making over the wall here. Lando's going to choose to take it slow, try to get a pick here on Doom if he gets too aggressive, but Doom is just putting his back to the wall, watching the opposite side for a push coming from the roof area, and just using his ears to defend himself. Ooh, we might see a conflict right here. Lando and Doom just barely missing each other here. Lando is aware of this position there, is going to make the cross all the way onto the far north wall, whatever that little alleyway is going to be called. I don't even know yet. And Doom definitely missed it here.
Sky Joker coming up on the white car. May is underneath the red ledge. I think he might have spotted Sky Joker because he's pushing hard.
Yeah, right here he is. May is back, is exposed to Sky Joker. If he comes around the corner here, May has made it up onto the scaffolding. Sky Joker is aware he has to stand tall in order to see him there. Lando is made it all the way to the crack in the wall, and Doom is probably not going to be expecting this, but neither is Lando, putting his back to Doom and giving Doom that opportunity to shoot him in the back. And now Blackwatch has 2 members to Volk's 1, or Demon Killer's 1 member. They definitely know where he is here, and he's going to have to do a lot of work to defend this. Shots ring out. Million gets a nice tight angle shot onto Doom, giving Blackwatch the first point of map 3.
That was a well-executed offensive round. Just completely encircled from both the east and the west. And just tightened down like a vice grip as the round went on. Really no choice but to succumb to that by the defense.
Yeah, that's something you have to keep in mind too. You hear a ton of shots coming from one direction. You really want to look that direction, but you got to trust your teammates there. You know, everybody has their angles they have to watch, and well, I think they did a good job, you know, doing that. When I was watching the minimap a little bit there as that west push went in, I think it was Doom was watching his angle dutifully. So good job there. But once they started losing members, it just gets hard because you're going to have to defend multiple angles all at once. And, you know, I think we saw, too, that kind of rotation where Doom went onto the objective. And at that point, he was more or less, you know, be like, you need to watch the rest. You need to watch the west. You need to watch the push from the south up towards the, like, the roof area. And I'm just mostly going to be focused on this each approach. That's my guess at what kind of communication went down, because that's what I started to see. And I think that was a great move, is if they didn't watch that east approach, if they didn't check it, we would have seen a cap come out.
Yep, a lot of effective offense is about isolating defenders. It's making them feel like they are by themselves and then putting them in a position where they are, in fact, by themselves. You draw their attention one way, you kill them, you take out one whole side or one whole area and force them into acting like individuals instead of coordinating. And Blackwatch did a very good job of that last round.
Let's see how this one goes out. Another north objective coming at you hot right now. We got the south spawn. What spawn do you like to have for this objective?
Yeah, I like south because you can get up into the hospital and see if anybody peeks, and you have options. You can do sort of what they're doing right now. You do 2-1-2, maybe one up the center, two on each side. It just lends itself to a much more effective encirclement, in my opinion.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I like to have the close spawn on the west. I think that it allows for really explosive plays. Get some quick picks, get control of the all-important impact building, and then you can slow down and let them the rest of your team push the middle or the east. It's just all up to your team chemistry and how well everyone can work together. The ebbs and flows of the battle of am I going to push now? Am I going to wait? Does my team need more time to get in position, cover these angles? Maybe fight the guy that I was trying to fight, let him take that angle. So that's why I like that objective. But you can kind of see here in my they have to really work to get close to the objective now, as they're really exposed to any of the defenders.
Well, to quote the Big Lebowski, that's like your opinion, man.
So it sure is here. All right, so what do we got here? We got Victor and Ben Bob on the plane itself, trying to peek over, catch anybody near the roof. No defenders there. We got two players in the west, just kind of watching that angle, trying to catch anybody after they take impact building. Meanwhile, all the way in the far east, we got Mei Mei with the shield yet again, and 2 to maximum, pushing up, trying to do kind of the same maneuver that Lando and friend was doing, going towards the east and get behind.
Ben Bob is making his way to the top of the impact building. He is already on the absolute top roof. He will have an overview on Cash Crazy shortly.
Might get team killed.
Maybe
Laser was on him, but he holds back here. Ben Bob takes out Cash Crazy here. Dang, nice quick shots. I didn't even really notice there was him. He's got his sniper rifle. Yeah, it's a sniper rifle with a 2 times.
And a bipod, I'll add.
Sky Joker shoots Mei Mei in the back there. Nice back defense position. Shoot him where they don't expect you. Milliam taking Victor down the west alley there. Crowbro exposing his position on the semi, taking some shots with his PKM towards the roof. Ben Bob, meanwhile, is more preoccupied with fighting Milliam, who's throwing frags and probably not aware that Ben is on the roof trying to look down on him, but he's doing a great job of keeping his body not exposed to the roof. He's just shooting from inside the cover of the building.
Yeah, it was a really nice flash by Milliam. He threw it high and ended up catching Ben Bob, forcing him to fire to protect himself. And that could play a role here because he's in an exposed position and he's likely going to be running low on ammo soon, having that sniper rifle.
Right. Oh, he's going to come down quick. He is done with being on the roof. 2 to maximum, takes out Sky Joker. Nice peek around the corner there. Milliam takes out Doom. And now the defense is going to have to play tight here. 3 defenders, only 2 Marsoc attackers left. But you never know where they're coming from. They could have got on the north wall. They could have ran around the west here, depending on how well Milliam and Crowbro defend this west side. But so far, it's been working out really well for him. That west corridor is just so hard to attack.
The moment you try and confront somebody at the end of that hallway, you have got problems. And you really, as an offensive player, never want to be in that hallway either.
Ooh, nice shot from Lando, shooting just through the crack of these 2 walls here. Getting a nice shot on a 2 to maximum. Not able to quite confirm him, as I assume his body fell below cover for him. The false side of the hill or something like that. But with him being down, Ben Bob is going to have to rotate all the way around to get that res. but he doesn't really have time for it with only 40 seconds on the clock. He's just going to have to go and hope that he can take out 3 enemy players all by himself. You can hear him already moving. Crowbro probably aware of his position. Lando taking shots at him. Neither player able to quite get the upper hand here. Utility goes out, but Crowbro comes around. Nice pickup from him. Working together. Almost gets taken out by the grenade there. Blackwatch secures another point.
Yeah, speak to your point about your favored spawn. I think that is not going to be a favored spawn for newer teams because it does require better coordination and better timing starting so far away. I personally like it just because of the challenge, but for newer teams that are still working on communication and their planning, I could see that being a problem. And you could see the issues there being highlighted on that round.
Right. This objective is fun. There's so many different ways of attacking it. I think that there's a lot of value in it, and I'm glad that they didn't remove it, moving from 1.7 to 1.8, which really drastically changed up how this map looks, how it plays. Pretty much everything about it is different, as we have a lot of new objectives as well, so you might not see any of the old objectives when you play this map because there's just so many new ones.
Indeed. And this objective, the tank courtyard, it did exist before, but in a much different form. This is now, in my opinion, one of the harder objectives to deal with, both on the offensive and defensive side, because you can't really defend it without exposing yourself, and there's no way you're going to cap without being out in the open from one angle or another.
Yeah, this objective is so crazy now, and you just brought me down memory lane thinking, how, defending out, like, I got to cross that little gap and get across past the tank and not get shot, and you have to keep your head down because the roof is so oppressive, and the map, it was just different back in the day.
Well, the way this particular objective used to be structured was it was surrounded by a fence. So if you did not have people directly on objective, you had almost no way of defending it if somebody got into that fence. And now that situation is not really there. The tank provides some cover. So if somebody is defending from, I don't know, maybe ambulance, you can kind of hang out behind it. But other than that, you can be somewhat remote and defend this objective because you have to be so far out in the open to cap from there.
Oh, and somebody crashed their freaking engine into it. Like, come on, guys. Both of them even. Look at all this property damage.
Yeah, insurance companies can have a field day.
Thought insurance was all about paying and not getting any payment back from.
That is true. A larger conversation for another time. But we have 4 players on Demon Killers, although we're getting 5 dots still. So I don't know if there was a drop or what happened, but they're just saying we're going to play with 4.
Unfortunate. Sometimes that, real life happens. You have to leave prematurely, and you just don't have anybody ready to go after that.
Yeah.
It's commendable to continue playing and do your best. Victor getting extremely aggressive. He's crossing the center street here, moving on to Sky Joker, who definitely wasn't expecting this kind of push, taking him out. He's probably scratching his head in the tent now. May May and Beep Bob, or whatever his name. I'm sorry. May May coming into contact here with Millie and Lando. Lando's going to come around the corner here and try and take him out. Nice shot from him, taking out May May. And Ben Bob, my bad, in the hills trying to defend this objective, taken out by Millie. Okay, since we have a moment here, there's another player called Beep Bob, and I keep thinking that's it. That's the only reason. I'm sorry.
Well, technically his name's Beep Boop, but close enough.
Mono isn't known for his memory. Okay.
This is true. It's a Crowbro suppressing rounds onto Victor in center burning. And it is all up to the last 2 here. 2 to Maximum and Victor. Both, well, okay, never mind. 2 to Maximum getting on objective. Victor still pretty far away. If Cash Crazy, or I suppose Lando or Milliam can get behind the tank, there is a cap potential.
What an aggressive push. they were, Blackwatch wasn't expecting that, and I think if things just went a little differently, it might have actually worked out for him.
One down in Embassy.
Lando
Yeah.
taking out, you can hear the different callouts here. For Blackwatch, it seems that the mall is what we call it. They call it the Embassy. And I can see that too. Cash Crazy is running onto objective here. He's already on point. He's behind the tank. Victor has no chance at coming back here unless Cash does like 3 mono caps. And he's putting in the code right now. Victor doesn't seem to aware there's so much pre-fire going on. The point is, he's typing in the point here, or the code on the point. And there we go. We have it. 4-0.
God damn it.
Darn it, Cash Crazy.
I think that would qualify as a monocap, I believe. Have to
You're
go
right.
back and time that, but I think that might have hit the threshold. We'll have to ask our team of scientists and physicists if that hit the threshold or not, but I think it did.
Definitely can't get that wrong. It can be devastating. And to be falsely accused of a monocap.
It is a high crime. So anyway, Blackwatch takes that map as well. They take all 3 maps in the series. This last one commandingly, although Demon Killer's working with 4 on that last round, so respect to them for pushing through anyway.
And I think it was a good try to try that overly aggressive style. If it worked out, they definitely didn't expect it. It was fun to watch. And I mean, they took out Sky Joker right down the middle pretty much immediately. I think it was close.
Yeah. Demon Killers, again, brand new team, no footage on them, and they got to come out swinging, and they did. In fact, they brought it to a pretty close match on 2 occasions on both the previous maps. So nothing to be ashamed of. Good games to both teams, in my opinion.
Right, and they, like you said, they lost a member that they played through. They're not going to give up. It sounded like they were still in high spirits. That's what you need to see. It's not really about winning or losing when you're in the bronze tier or whatever. It's about learning. It's about getting comfortable with your team. It's about really, just putting that time in and the work in, and through the losses, through the wins, just putting your best effort. And if you do that, you'll continue to rise. And I think Demon Killers is a team to watch as they rise through the MMR ladders, because I saw that teamwork there. I saw that opportunity for a lot of growth, and I think that as they play and continue to play, they're going to learn a lot. And you can already see them really giving Blackwatch quite a hard time, and Blackwatch has a lot of games under their belt, a lot of experience, and a pretty core roster that plays really well together. So good work for both of these teams.
Indeed. And I think something that doesn't show up in the stats or anything is the way that, I'll be answering that in a moment. But one thing that doesn't show up is that there are so many scrims under their belt during the hiatus. I mean, they came into the league in their official match with tons of games under their belt already. Demon Killers did not have that benefit. So even with that mismatch of experience, Demon Killers put on one heck of a game.
I definitely enjoyed it. So this has been Blackwatch versus Demon Killers, brought to you by myself, Monorchid, and my co-caster Theta. We'd like to thank the VR Master League for providing this format, for letting us see these 2 teams duke it out, to our moderator team, to our sponsors, and to you guys for sticking around, watching all these gameplays. We really enjoy seeing these teams duking it out, and in every MMR bracket, there's just so many fun things to see. I think that these new teams are definitely worth a watch as they do all these crazy fun things. So definitely keep watching these casts with us. Do we have any casts coming up later today?
No, I think this is the last one.
Last one. I think there might be one brewing, but I'm not sure with TFH. But
oh, you're right. Okay, before we cut off, let me just make sure everybody is aware of that. Okay, so yes, we have one in 20 minutes.
20 minutes, guys.
It's Animal House Dark Matter with TFH and Anana Mouse on Onward Master League, just the Onward Master League instead of Onward Master League 2. So don't miss that one. Those are both very explosive, exciting teams to watch.
Is Nightfire doing production as well?
Yes, it looks like Nightfire will be running cams, and then TFH and Anonymous will be doing the rest of it.
So we should be seeing a pretty polished, fun cast. So definitely check that out. Thanks for showing up, guys, and have a great night, everyone.
Later.